realistic world. Rebirth. Now,
Supergirl had to do Superman, right?
That's all they were talking about was getting some.
have some more.
Oh, the sloppy
Joe.
Sure that I'm not getting in my own way and building my own mentality instead of just allowing it to be built.
And it's a great song. Highs and lows, great hook.
Batman, Master of the Fantastic.
Yeah. Remember these guys?
They missed an opportunity.
Minimal like a freaking McDonald's.
Like a damn package of. You think this is orange juice?
Welcome back. What up, guys? Check it out. It's me, Brian B. on the B-Line ENT. Yo, listen, it's very, very, very good to see you guys. I miss you guys, man. When I'm not here, I miss you guys, believe it or not. But this is the B-Line Entertainment LLC. That's right. And I couldn't stay away for too long, man. If you guys know, you know, I had posted a clip where literally I'm not trying to be dramatic, even though I am dramatic. But I posted a clip where I was kind of done, bro. I wouldn't call it burnout. People call it burnout. I literally was like, I was reaching a point where I just felt like, hey, listen, I'm kind of just interested in maybe stopping. Just, sometimes, you don't know where a stopping point is. You don't know if you're doing something too long. You don't know if you should stop, maybe try something else, try to invest time in other places. But I tried it, left, and took 3 months off, and now I'm back. Did a lot of soul searching when I was out, trying to figure. I'm almost 40, which is awesome. I'll be 39 this year, and then and I know it's not old, but still, it took some time, whatever. But listen, guys, I feel great, and it feels great to be back and talking some stuff. And I'm not alone, of course. It's the ENT show. I got my co-host with me. He's going to be coming on, but I wanted to let you guys know, listen, we are fully back. So this week coming up, all 3 shows, we did just do a show last night, but this Tuesday night, we're back with a brand new episode of the B-Line Web Show. Tuesday nights at 9:00 p.m. We'll be back on there. Then, of course, on Wednesday, last night, we had the first show back, and that is our Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk, baby, where we talk all things pro wrestling. A lot of WWE conversation going on over there. But we also talk about New Japan. We also talk about AEW. We talk about TNA. We talk about a little bit of everything, even behind the scenes. Ooh, getting freaky. Nah, not really. Listen, your boy Brian B is completely back. And then, of course, on Thursday nights, we have the B-Line Entertainment Show. Me and my boy Kyle, Eric. We got some awesome new posters out there, of course. Thank you so much to AI, since they took my job. So now I gotta, go ahead and revert over to them. But they make some good work. Looks really good. Appreciate the love and the support. Thank you guys jumping in the comments early. Did you miss me? Did you miss us? Yo, we got some things to talk about tonight because there's been a lot of entertainment stuff been going. It's not like it stopped. I'm the only one who stopped. Entertainment's still going on. But to help me talk about it, I got my co-host on the line. Show it off. Yo, listen, y'all don't even understand. I might be bringing back the show off segment. We might be doing that. So we'll talk about it. Me and Kyle are going to be talking tonight. It's not going to be too many things that are going to, pop up. We're not doing the top 5, unfortunately. But next week, we will be back in the full swing of things. But without further ado, my man from the A for Able podcast and a whole bunch of other podcasts, because he does a whole lot of stuff, including he does his talks on TikTok. Got a lot of stuff going on from a new location, looking a little bit different. My man, Kyle, Eric. What up, Kyle?
What's going on?
Back at it, man. Feels good. It feels good to be up behind the mic, bro. It really does. Star power and shit, right?
Yeah, somebody asked me, where do you feel most comfortable? I said behind a microphone for some reason. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, kind of where we at. I was talking before, shout out to the 11:30 podcast with my boy Dre on Wheels.
Yeah, shout out to Dre.
Shawnell and Harley. We were on Dre's podcast. And we were talking about like purpose and like intent and like, time and stuff like that, things that you do in your life. Like a lot of times, this is kind of like a kind of a grim kind of comparison, but when you pass on and stuff like that, bro, a lot of times, like, you picture like the funeral is always somebody coming up and they saying good words about you. And you're like, hey, listen, bro, this guy was this, he did that, and usually there's something that people remember you for. And that's what they speak on at that time. You're remembered for a lot of things. And Harley was like, there was somebody like that she knew, and she said that they were remembered for helping people,
Mm.
and she was like, she didn't want to be just remembered for just helping people. And I feel that, not that there's anything wrong with helping people. It's definitely, it's of course it's great to help people and stuff like that, especially people in need.
Yes.
But it's one of the things where it's like, you do kind of want to leave kind of a legacy. You do kind of want to leave some kind of like, helping people is it's great. But it's like, I'm happy that I'm learning more and more each day, even though I step away and I try to come back. This is what I feel my legacy is. When I'm gone, like, people are going to let something to look back on, for as long as it is, as many episodes, 6 years in right now. And I had to find that shit. I had to say, hey, listen, am I, because it takes a lot of time, and because when I do something, I do try to dedicate myself to it.
Mhm.
It's difficult, bro. It's difficult.
Yeah.
You could be doing or should be doing something else if you're not, trying or at least having that time. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
I hear you. I feel the same. I feel the same way. Plus, I feel it when I'm helping someone else create their stuff.
Yeah.
It really brings out that creative side of me. Like, I always feel like I was meant to create something, right? And that doesn't just mean for myself. That means for others too. But sometimes my family's like, so when you gonna start doing your stuff again? Or like, like everybody, like my family is so supportive. They're like, so when is your podcast coming back? When is your, and some of my family members have been on A for Able before, sharing their stories. And they've asked me, so when is the next podcast coming out? When is the next podcast coming out? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm still sitting on stuff. So it's time for me to get back to it,
Yeah, man. And it's good to kind of like, me and you are about the same age. And I always got to clarify this or whatever, but it's just like, I know we're not old, right? We're not old.
We're not old in that, like,
in that sense, right?
But
it's
sense.
Like, reasonably, if let's say we, let's say even if we go to 100, we're way closer to the middle than we, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point you got to be reasonable. Like, hey, listen, even if I'm 80, I'm 80. Like, I'm all right. I ain't gonna be doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
If I
got pills,
man, if I could reach 80, okay, let's talk about it. If I could reach 80, I'd be happy. You feel me? Like, because every day you never know. You're not guaranteed the next day. So my thing is, like, and I've seen some of my family members reach those like 80s and 90s, almost 100. I'm like, yo, what is that? What does that take? I don't know.
I'll tell you, my Aunt Martha was 100 years old, bro. I remember having her 100-year birthday party. And it's just one of those things where it's like you just said, bro, when you think about all of the challenges that, us being, almost 40 at this point, and almost 40 means literally 39.
Almost 40.
Yeah, almost 40. It's like, we've seen stuff in these 40 years, and it's like, all the close calls, all the dangerous situations, all the, times you cross the street and, oh man, that car was kind of close. And then you think of somebody who 100 years of that shit, that wasn't just sitting inside of like a safe padded room. Like, how did you make it? Like,
seriously with the madness. Sometimes I think about like I hear stuff like the millennial old folks home is gonna be something else. Like the millennials old folks home, the references that we have versus the references that the generation after us has. Not to mention, we remember analog versus digital. We remember being in an analog world going into the digital world. So there's a lot of things that that we can that it's going to be like, people are going to be referencing. Our old songs are going to sound so weird when they're older.
That's right. Yeah. You remember, and that's a good, like, topic, because I was thinking about it when me and my, a lot of times I'm driving in the car with my kids,
Yeah.
And I turn on the radio every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like every now and then. It's just like if it's a silence, either I'm talking to them sometimes or just like we're talking or whatever. But if it's a silence, there's sometimes where I'll just turn on the radio just to cut the silence.
Yeah.
And that's the only times where I'll cipher through the songs. And to be dead ass with you, bro, like you said, man, I got my stations that, some play the 80s, 90s, and now. And then you have the stations that are just playing the hip hop. Then you have stations that are playing a little bit of mix of pop and a little bit of everything. But it's weird because I'll put on my shit and I'm listening to some throwback R&B. I'm listening to some throwback, even pop sometimes.
Yep.
And I go to listen to, the stuff that's playing now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't really even know, bro. It's like there's some songs that are out that I guess, there's some good music that is out. A lot of stuff is starting to kind of go back into like, if you notice it, it's like more of a old timey 40s vibe whether it's the what's the damn, I can't remember the one song that they got, but a lot of these songs are going back and they're singing that bluesy type.
Oh, you mean the flow
songs.
And the melody? It's all like it's going way back.
Yeah, like
that,
from
style.
From somebody like if you envision like the black and white lady in nice gown singing with the microphone, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting because it's just like, and then you turn on hip hop and you can forget about it, especially if you live in the South. These motherfuckers, they just give it up.
Yo,
they ain't rapping about shit.
And man, I saw a couple of interesting videos about that. So recently, me and Babe were watching a video essay where I believe they were Gen Z. They were like, why are people listening to more Michael Jackson? That like why what is it about Michael Jackson that Gen Z is starting to gravitate towards, or like the younger generation is gravitating towards? And their theory, because they went by like his feat, his accolades, his songs, and what he's been able to accomplish even after death, because this was shortly after the Michael biopic came out, and his music was blowing. It blows up every year, but his music was just blowing up astronomically on the charts, and people were wondering why. And it came down to this theorist was because his music was so positive, versus today, where a lot of music today is very negative, very down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, listen,
and I'm like, you're right, because he had a variety of things. He talked about what was going on in the world, and then he talked about some fun stuff, and a lot of it was
stuff, but respectfully, like
respectfully, and it was upbeat, and you could follow along. And it's like my little nephew, 4 years old, listening to everything from freaking Michael Jackson, Prince, the funk, like the Gap Band, all of those like older groups. You turn on something new. I think the newest thing I heard him listening to was Ludacris recently.
Damn, is that? I mean, is Ludacris new? I haven't heard a new song from Ludacris. For him. Gotcha, yeah.
He's 4, so he's so he was absorbing all of this, all of this music. But he goes old school first. Then he goes to the newer stuff. Like, I remember I was in the car with him and my sister, his mom, and he wanted to listen to the Hollywood song "Spooky Scary Skeletons" and then switch it to Michael Jackson, right? So this is where he is right now. So but
like you're saying, like that's a really good like acknowledgement, because even if you think about it, like we glorify like our music, and of course, like our hip hop was, even though in my opinion, the lyricists and stuff like that from our times, whether it was Ludacris, whether it was Fabulous, Jay-Z,
50 Cent,
Eminem, Kanye West,
Latifah,
like so many. There's so you can go on from the late 90s or mid 90s, Method Man, Redman, like talking about these
Lil
guys
Cam,
who,
Mobb Deep,
they were lyricists, bro. They put a track on that was bumping, and then they just fucking poetically flowed, and it wasn't always positive. It wasn't always positive,
It
but
wasn't always positive. No.
the skill behind the shit was
Yeah.
untouchable. Where to the point where they said, "Hey, listen, I spit so good that I want you to fucking battle me and see if you can spit better." And then that's where the battle rapping came. You feel me? Like it's like it's weird because now I don't know what the fucking talent aspect is of the music, and I'm strictly just talking about the futures and even like 2 Chains and I'm not. This isn't saying hatefully. I'm just kind of like I'm used to that aspect of like you get on a microphone and you suck. It meant something back in the day. Like somebody gonna embarrass the shit out of you. Don't let some good fucking rap, people spitting be around because you gonna get embarrassed. But now it's like you can spit. I'm putting on my hat. Yeah, I got my hat on. That's a fucking hit song. I made that shit right now. I get fucking platinum. You feel? But it's
Sample
weird because I'm telling you, bro. A sample and that's it. Most of the song is you going, and but I'm just like, where's the talent? Like, where's the fucking talent? Even when we were I was telling my son we were listening to a song. It wasn't even like a hard R&B, but I was like, yo, listen. There was it was somebody. They were singing. They were singing, and it wasn't whisper singing. It wasn't. And I'm like, bro, do you know the talent that it takes to actually have vocal ability, to have range and fucking vibrato and everything it takes to fucking really sing like a Jennifer Hudson or Patti LaBelle, like these people who know how to fucking these women who are in church that you go into on a Sunday in a black church in a small hole in the wall church, and they voices
and then you got you stomping. They get
bro,
like they got you going all over the church because the energy is just there. It's palpable.
Unbelievable. But then you put on a whisper song with whoever it is, LMA or and like I said, I'm not hating, but I'm just like, I feel like it's like people are easily skating by on just being available. And it's like it's not as much like necessary to be skilled as it is to just be now or whatever you want to call it, like just relevant, you know what I mean, like shit like that or whatever.
Relevance is a very interesting word because like relevance as far as like, and this is just coming from a music fan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Relevance as it is a very, very interesting word because now I've gotten to a point where a lot of the stuff I'm listening to at the moment is either the stuff I grew up on or I'll open Instagram. I'll open Instagram. Instagram has put me on to a lot of people who don't get that much shine. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like
underground.
I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo, hold on a second. So I'm getting a lot of underground and independent people, men, women, groups, bands, all of that. And I'm seeing young bands, older bands. I'm like, and stuff from, stuff I had never heard before, which thankfully to a lot of music fans and like scholars and stuff, they're doing all these crazy video essays. I'm like, how did I not know about this before? How did I not know about this genre? How did I not know about this person how many different, like for example, one thing that started coming up in popularity again was Japanese city pop, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have known about, like I knew about J-pop. I grew up listening to J-pop and K-pop before this is gonna sound
got
before
big,
it
like
was
it is
popular.
now.
Before it was cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But city pop, I was like, I had heard some stuff, but I had never, because a lot of this stuff is really like this is early, like late 70s, early 80s right here, and people are digging it. People are really like they are really digging it. Some of them are remixing it or reissuing albums, and I'm like, imagine if, because some of these people, unfortunately, in the city pop game, some of them had passed and some of them are older, and I'm like, imagine if they had gotten the worldwide acclaim they're getting now versus when it was just a thing that was happening in that region. You know what I'm saying?
And like you said, the relevance, it's all like, it's weird. Like nobody really has like, the the key or the ingredients
Mhm.
for what makes you go, you know, viral, for what makes you go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It usually is like, luck of the pick. It usually is like time period. You know, but one of the ingredients that has to usually be included for the
Yeah.
most part is you
Yeah.
have to have some kind of skill. Like it has to be
Yeah.
something that is appealing.
Yep.
And but then people's tastes vary so much. So it's
Very
like,
much so.
hey,
Yep.
something can be ugly to you but beautiful to, so it's like there's so many different like pieces of the puzzle, bro. But
Yep.
like you said, man, you know what's interesting? You started on it, but it triggered me because I was thinking this recently, bro. Going back into the conversation of us being like, in our 40s and stuff like that or whatever.
Yep.
Like you said, you know what I was thinking, Kyle?
Hmm.
I watch and I listen to the same shit. Not for like, oh, just because like, oh, I just do this, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I dabble in new stuff.
Yeah.
Here and there. I watch a new show here and there. I watch a new movie here and there.
Oh yeah.
But for the most part, bro, I'm listening to my old school songs. I'm listening to my old school hip hop. I'm
Mm.
watching, my same. I watch fucking The Big Bang Theory
Yep.
every damn night. Seinfeld, every Martin. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
Yeah.
just watching fucking Family Matters again. I started watching it because I ran out of shows. I don't got no shows I'm watching right now. Hey, B-Line, watch list. You want to watch list? I don't got one. I fucking watched everything. I ain't
Oh
into nothing
man.
really right now. But
Mm.
it's funny that you said it because we're 40, right? Like, are we gonna go all the way to fucking, let's say we do make it to 80, 90, 100. Are we gonna be just listening to the same shit? Like
There's a possibility. I mean, there's a
30, 40
possibility.
years, bro. Like,
There's a
damn.
possibility that things will, like the things will change. But there was a study that was done that said like the stuff that you listen to in your teenage years, a lot of it in like a lot of it in like early life and teenage years is what you gravitate towards the most. And it's not like you stop listening to new stuff. It's just that that's what you remember the most fondly because that holds a lot of memories for you. You know what I mean? Like all of the stuff that we were like think about think about our parents. Our parents and then their parents. A lot of their stuff, which is which is considered classics today. You know what I'm saying? They got to experience when it first hit the waves. They got
That's
to
right.
experience it at the dances, at the clubs, at the barbecues,
Skating rings.
at the skating rings. You know what I'm saying? Now a lot of people are just experiencing things through YouTube and streams and stuff like that. Very rarely do I just go out and I hear a tune and it's like, yo, I gotta hear the rest of this. Now I'm getting stuff from like if my Uber driver is got got something on something that I have never seen that I've never heard before, I will Google it immediately so I don't forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't care what language it's in. The other day somebody was trying to teach me Spanish, right? And he had salsa music and I'm like, I already recognize the song. You know what I'm saying? I already recognize the song. And I'm like, okay, I need to know more of this. This is dope. And also, my family's Cape Verdean. So and plus the World Cup, the Cape Verdean team was, they got into the World Cup for the first time. So we're just bumping the Cape Verdean music and all this, and all the support. And I'm like, okay, some stuff I hear at family parties, some stuff I've heard at clubs and stuff before, but I need to put my list together. There's a lot of stuff from my own culture I don't even know. You know?
Yeah, mine too. Shit, I don't know too much about mine. I mean, my wife is Japanese and black. I'm black and Puerto Rican, so it's like there's a lot of heritage and to this day, like you were just saying,
there's a lot going there. How do you
my house got some good ass food, right?
How do you hold on a second. You're a fusion restaurant, bro. How do you not have the music to go along with it, man?
You know what's crazy, bro? My mom never knew her mom. Okay. And her mom was like the one who was like the predominant of her Puerto Rican culture. So it's like she grew up with her dad, and her dad was like, really kind of just like, one of the guys. And then my dad, he's black. So my mother was kind of just we black, black family. We wasn't raised up with a lot of our Hispanic culture. So it's
Oh,
like
okay.
I didn't get that influence in a way, you know what I mean? So it's like, but then my wife, she was raised with her, mom, and her mom's Japanese, but
Mm-hmm.
she was, black man, married a black man.
Yeah.
It's like we all black. It's like
It's
it's
like,
like we
if
just got the soul, bro. This
you
is
got
all
the
it's what it
soul. If
is.
you
Like,
look at but if you look at there's history of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
There is history of that. If you look farther enough in history, a lot of like the early Japanese people, they look like us. A lot of a lot of their like a lot of Spanish and Hispanic cultures, they look like a melting pot. I've seen
yeah,
ones that look as white as all get out, and they speak in perfect Spanish. And I've seen those that look darker than me, and you
yeah,
can't tell right. You can't tell right away. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Dominican and yeah.
In
I
Puerto Rico,
believe it, man. But
you know.
I mean, not for nothing. I just thought it was interesting because you said it, and it was one of those things where I was thinking it the other day. Like I was thinking when I was scrolling. There's times where I'll be trying to watch a movie, man. It's been happening a
Yep.
lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to watch a movie, and there'll be a couple of things that I wanted to watch that may be out. Like we were saying, we wait for movies to get out of the theaters because they're
Yep.
out of the theaters in 5 minutes.
They
But
for
in
real.
5 minutes, you fucking hey, playing tomorrow, and then you're like, okay, and 2 weeks from now it'll be in my house.
Yep.
So it's like you don't go to the movies and run to the movies for just everything anymore. Most of the stuff you're watching at home, but even with the stuff that's going out in the movies, or the stuff that's going out, straight to Netflix or straight to Hulu or whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
just haven't been that engaged. Like it hasn't been
That's
anything
fair.
severely that I've been running to. That's like I gotta watch it and
That's
shit. You know
fair.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
weird, bro. I'm a horror head. I like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's been a couple that's been popping up. I remember I saw one, and this isn't even a watch list, but I saw one. It was called Undertone,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a horror podcast, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch this shit because this is my field right here. And I was just so stupid. I was like,
And
like this shit is so dumb. It had some interesting little elements, I guess, around a
yeah.
little bit, but it was like, I was like, I can't fucking play with this. But I'm like, can you please give me something that is interesting? So let's
Mhm.
use that to kind of tie in. I know I
Yep.
said we don't got to watch this, guys, but I do have a movie that I do want to talk about.
Yeah.
And it was good catching up with Kyle. Man, I ain't talked to Kyle like this in a minute, bro. Yo, Kyle,
Yeah.
I want to sound on those
Yep.
no moist shit or anything like that, but I missed you, bro. Like
I missed you
like,
too.
yeah,
Dude.
we talk to each other every week, man, and it was I enjoy our conversations and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
man. When you hit
Feels
me up just
good.
to check in, man. Thank you for that. Like when you hit me
bro.
up just to check in and see how things were going, I appreciate that because this move has gotten me like I've been depressed off and on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people
new
have been
environment,
checking in. Yeah, brand new environment. People have been checking in. Shout out to everybody, including the ones that I don't always speak with. But thanks to social media, I've gotten a lot of people asking me how things are going. Plus my family. They just they just want to know that I'm okay because I'm in a new environment. But people are making it easier. Like I said, I got family and my girlfriend who I consider family. Obviously, like she's close to me now and everything. It's just like okay, things are starting to fall into place, but it's I am such the new guy. I am I am so the new guy. Brand new building. I walk out of my apartment. My neighbors are like, "Excuse me, have you just moved in here? Did you move in here?" I'm like, "Yeah. How you doing?" I'm getting all nervous because I don't know them and they're older than me. You know what I mean? So like they see me coming out, it's like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, this guy's nice. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they're outside. There's a neighbor, one of my neighbors, right? One of my neighbors, he's in a wheelchair, he got a boom box strapped to his wheelchair, right? And he will start playing anything. He'll be outside chilling at the front of at the front of my building. Next thing you know, they dancing. They jamming over here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It can be nerve wracking to like be somewhere different. Damn. Speaking of this, I was about to jump into the damn movie, but you know what? I didn't even really like jump into the fact that you saying that being somewhere different is interesting, bro. You could be somewhere different, like you said, feel like you don't belong or feel like you're not supposed to be here for a while. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt being in Georgia. Like I like when I've been in Georgia for 15 years now. I had to move to Georgia kind of hastily. And if you guys know, like, you know, I was talking to y'all before I left or whatever, but I was like, you know, getting prepared to go to back home to New Jersey, where I'm from, where I haven't been in what was it? Damn near 15 years. Like, you know, I think I visited one time, but after that, it was like I wasn't back home for a while. So me going back home, you know, we went last month around the 10th, I think it was, and had a phenomenal time, man. I was able to bring my family. I went and did every single thing that I wanted to do. I had a list, I had a schedule. I didn't follow it all the way, but bro, I did everything. I saw. It was crazy seeing like the differences from what you're used to like what it is now. But it was so crazy, bro, because one of the biggest things why I wanted to kind of stop and focus was because one of my plans was like, hey, listen, if I enjoy or if I go back home and I'm comfortable and my wife is comfortable, there's a good chance that I might try to move back. I might try to move back home. I miss Jersey. And that's why I wanted to stop. I wanted to recollect. I was like, listen, if I'm going to try to do something like this, it's a giant move. I have to focus. I have to stay focused. And when I got down there, my wife was telling me like, hey, listen, you know, she was like, you're going to go and you're going to see it and you're going to miss it. You're going to enjoy it, but you're going to want to come back home. And she was right, man. And it's such a weird thing. Not because Georgia is home, because it definitely isn't. But it's just like, once being there and seeing like everything be so different and just getting the feels back, because it was still incredible to see and you know, just you know, share as well. But it was just like, it's a weird thing, bro. It's like you can think you want something until you have it, and then when it's yours, it's like, okay, I'm good now. And I was able to come back and just enjoy being here. Like, you know, okay, I know that I'm not missing what I thought I might be missing. And that shit is important. That shit is important, bro. Like you're saying right now, like you got a new place, you got to adapt to it. It's not like you're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Well, hopefully, because shit happens, but.
Oh yeah, you know but like you said, you missed it. You hadn't been back home, the place that you were born and raised for like you said, 15 years. That's almost 2 decades. You're getting close to 2 decades living in a place that you know, living in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And you just missed it. Nostalgia and all of that is a very powerful thing, especially if you got good memories. Especially if you got good memories. Like when people say they want to go back in time, I'm like, hold on, do you really want to go back in time? Hold on a second. They're like, oh, I want to go back to when I was a kid, when everything made sense, when things were, you know, when music was better, when gas was like a few bucks, a few dollars a gallon. I'm like, okay, hold on. Think about it. You want to go because you remember the good, right? Like when we think nostalgia, we're thinking about when we were kids. Like me and Babe, we talk about old school Nickelodeon all the time. Right? We talk about the old school kid lineups and stuff all the time, and some stuff that we missed that is now floating around the ether, and some of it is on YouTube. And I'm like, okay,
you can watch it all over the place,
and you watch it all over again, including the old commercials.
Yep, I was doing that before I left to Jersey. That's all I was doing. I was just telling them, like, I had it so bad, Kyle. Like I said, that whole month before I left, I was watching all the old cartoons on Saturday mornings. I was playing because I was like, damn, we don't got Saturday morning cartoons no more.
Nope.
So I was putting that shit on YouTube for my kids. And I'm like, I was showing them. Then the old commercials were coming on, the Burger King commercial with the toys. And I'm like, this is what we woke up to. We looked forward to this.
You look forward to it.
Yeah, we didn't have Netflix to fucking on demand it and stuff like that. We were looking for it. But I missed that nostalgia. But now that I've been back and I had my time, it's like I'm not aching like I was, like longing for that. You know what I'm saying? For that past time. Like,
but it sounded like you needed to go back. it
I
really
needed
sounded,
to.
you needed to go back. You hadn't been back in a minute. You missed it,
Yeah.
and you needed to go back. Not to mention, you got to show your family. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that was big. That was really big. They didn't know, because I was always talking about it, like, whether it was
Mhm.
just different things. Like, we were able to go to Seaside Heights, and that was one thing that, man, listen, that was the one thing that I moved back for Seaside alone. I love Seaside, the beach and the
Mhm.
boardwalk, and just like that atmosphere, bro. Like, I missed that. And it was like,
Mhm.
just being able to see my childhood home, my childhood friends, which, changed so much too, was
Yeah.
also very, very different. So the nostalgia feel was a little less, because the area where I was from, it's still,
Isn't
for the
it's
most
still
part,
there?
yeah, it's like things hit. It's one of those
Mhm.
things where it's like you have this idea, like, oh, I'm gonna go back and everything's gonna be exactly the same, and that nostalgia is gonna make you cry, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you get there and it's like, okay, this is the same. Yes, yes, let's go. And then it's like, wait, this is different. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no, but this is here, still here. Yes, that's right. This is here. Oh, what the fuck is this? It's like,
Yeah. I had an experience with that a few years ago. So
yeah.
yeah, actually it happens all the time. I'm a big nostalgia head, but
Oh man,
but
because we're
but
40.
right. But and we're millennials. Millennials are the most nostalgic generation.
Yeah, being at this. Yeah.
So it just makes sense. So one day I was having dreams of a house I used to live in. So when I was a kid, for a while, my family all lived with my grandmother, right?
Hmm.
So, and the house that she lived in, everybody would come to that, come to that house. You know what I'm saying? Like people, like my dad, my dad and his sister, they grew up, they grew up there when they, like when they moved in when they were kids. My great grandmother and my grandmother, they both lived there. Family members would come and go all the time. It was a sun port, we had a sun porch. We would have our, like we would play our
Man, I
toys in.
love those.
Me and my sister, when we moved had a we had to share. It was the first time we had to share a room.
Mm,
It was like the real first time, besides her being a baby, was when we had to share a room. We had friends all over the, all in the neighborhood, because my sister was a social butterfly. So
yeah.
we always had friends and stuff like that. Spent summers there, all of that. And then we moved. Time goes by. My grandmother sells the house. Till this day, she kind of regrets selling the place. Right? Till this day, she regrets selling the place. And I happened to, when I moved in with my stepdad, his house, I his house I would discover was only like a hop, skip, and a jump away from that place, right?
Okay.
From my grandmother's old place. So one day I'm having dreams. Like one night I'm just having dreams of just memory flashbacks of what it was like living there. And I was like, I gotta go back and see that place. I hadn't seen it in a while. I go back. The neighborhood looks pretty much for the most part untouched. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
With the exception of like a couple of houses, including my grandmother's old place. It don't look the
yeah.
same anymore. But I came out with a notebook, like I was journaling, like
Yeah.
I was trying to write a letter to an old friend because I missed the house that much. I missed the memories attached,
Yeah.
and that's what it was. That
I
nostalgia
believe
was
it.
huge,
I
you
believe
know.
it, bro. And that's what's weird. For me, it was like when I was staying at the apartment complex,
Mm,
and which is crazy because my one of my childhood best friends, man, he still lives there. Same
mm,
apartment. And it's crazy. He lives by himself there now. His mom moved out, and he's like, he'd been living there for so long. He's
mm,
grandfathered in at this point. So
mm,
it's like to see him living there, and that was the one thing that didn't change for sure.
mm,
And then I see my old door right next to his, and then I see the apartment. But things are just like kind of like how you said, the neighborhood was just different. They
mm,
had knocked. One of the things that pissed me off the most was I was one of the biggest pieces of nostalgia that I had. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to go up to the apartment and look out the window.
yeah.
But when I was a kid, it was time because our room was in the living room, me and my sister.
Oh,
And
okay.
we played with toys. But there'd be times where I would just open the window and I kind of just kneel on the windowsill and
Yeah.
look outside. And right across the street was a whole bunch of trees. It was just like kind of like woods.
Yeah.
And behind it, even though you couldn't see it, it was like a golf course. So it was just a big stretch of woods and then a golf course. So it was just really nice, man. It was at night, you know what I'm saying? Like you see the stars and then the trees, and then the trees would move when it would rain. I just sit there sometimes when it rained and just watch the trees move.
Aw.
And I loved that shit as a kid.
Mhm.
And it's like, you know what I'm saying? You remember stuff like that when you get older because kids are like, you know, hey, we like cartoons and toys.
Yep.
But little things like that, man. I used to like, I'd go outside and lay on my grandfather's car and look up at the stars and stuff like that or whatever. But they had cut like almost all of the trees to make a
not the
fucking
tree.
Amazon warehouse.
Not the.
Bro, listen, bro. It just gets worse from there.
Of course, it's Amazon.
And then Amazon backed out and didn't even use it. So they fucked up the whole area.
Hold it. So they cleared out that space for Amazon, and Amazon didn't even use it.
They built it's a huge building. And they cut all the fucking it was such a nice little area, bro. As kids, we used to play, we used to go in the woods and we had fun. But it's like the fact that they cut all of it down, and now when if you're in the apartment, that's kind of like it was like in the back of the apartment complex, and you look out, all you see is this big ass fucking, you know, monstrosity, and it's just like, why are you? Bro, it sucks, man. But that was the nostalgia, like you were saying about your grandma's house.
Yeah,
that nostalgia of me just seeing those trees and being like, man, I remember being a kid. But there was also, like I said, there was still some things that was there that was like, damn, I remember playing over here. I remember this. But they actually cut down a lot of the trees that were by that area, which is crazy, like, you know. But it's just one of those things, bro. Nostalgia, like you said, for us, you know, I think it has something to do. We lived in a time where we transitioned from, hey, listen, we're living like our parents lived, where you had to wait for everything. You had to be patient. You had to enjoy what was coming when it was coming at the time it was coming. And we remember that. And then we transitioned into the awesome fucking fun world of, wait a minute, I don't gotta wait no more. Oh shit,
I ain't gotta wait anymore.
Press a button.
Click. Oh, hold on a second. My subscriptions went up. I can't share my accounts with my mom anymore. I can't, like, you know, but and this show that I was watching on this platform is no longer on this platform. This movie
on this platform. Now it's on a different
platform.
one.
And no one told me that this was on this platform. And now they're suing people. And now they're merging it. It's like, oh my God.
All right. I'll tell you what, because you just touched on the topic that I want to touch on tonight before we you know, be able to, you know, wrap stuff up or whatever.
Go ahead.
But let me go ahead and start off. First, we're going to talk about a movie, like I was saying, that, you know, was hitting really hard and everybody's been into it. And that movie is, give me a second, because I didn't even start pulling it up yet, but I'm about to start pulling it up. And once I start pulling it up, all right, I'll do Obsession first, and then I'm going to get into the other topic I want to talk about. But Obsession, bro. We had I watched Obsession. I know it's been a really big hit movie this year. And when I saw everybody talking about it, you know, I had to see it. I'm a horror guy, and I was kind of on the line of thinking, like, everybody's overhyping this movie. This is gonna be some new age woke shit, and I was like, that's why everybody's liking it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This fucking movie is really good. This movie is really, really good. First of all, like, you know, just to give it a little bit of hype, if you're a horror fan, you definitely want to watch it. The way that it was done, everything is kind of this really dark, shadowy aspect, which it just keeps you engaged pretty much for the whole movie. Also, the way that it plays out, the character dynamic is really done well. Whether it was the fans, it's not like everybody was like the greatest actors in the world or whatever, but it was just like everybody kind of had their role, and their role all added to the intenseness of the scenes that you were seeing. When you think of a movie called Obsession and you see the you know, promos for it and everything like that or whatever, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a girl who is obsessed with her boyfriend, blah blah blah, this and that.
Mhm.
If you anything like me, like you were saying, Kyle, like we know we're from the the 90s and stuff like that. If you remember the movie The Crush with Alicia
Alicia
Silverstone
Silverstone. That's what
and
that made me think
Carrie
of.
Elwes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal movie. Don't get it twisted. A young girl, a neighbor moved in, and she had a crush on him, and then she just went ape shit for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought I was walking into, but this one goes a little deeper, bro. This one goes a little deeper. It's a little bit more of like the mystic arts are kind of like a part of it, and they play the situation. It reminded me more of a possession movie than it did an intense lover, psychotic kind of whatever. Kyle,
Yeah.
do you have any like like I said, I know that you don't really do the horror and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but you've been seeing a lot of these recently. I just seen this, shaking my head. It was crazy. Listen, it really was fucking crazy, bro. Like, don't watch this. This I would classify this movie as one of those movies that if you watch it too late and then you try to go right to sleep, it may fuck with you a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. If you live on your own, don't watch it then be like, oh, I'm gonna go right to sleep. Because even I had to I was looking over my shoulder a little bit, like, damn, that shit was kind of creepy, bro. Yeah, it's creepy. It's fucking creepy. I ain't gonna lie. But how you feel, Kyle? You've been hearing about it.
I've been hearing about it. I've been seeing reviews about it, good and bad ones. There's a YouTuber I follow right now that's catching flack for something he said that was misconstrued, and based on something he said in his review. I didn't even watch his review. It was more like okay, this is not. I already knew this was not for me. But immediately it did remind me of The Crush. I remember watching The Crush with my cousin. It was always my cousins that were introducing me to these horror movies. It was always my cousins that were introducing me to suspense and horror and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, this is not for me. But I can remember elements, and that's what it reminded me of. But as soon as you said it had like elements of like the occult and stuff, it makes it makes for interesting for an interesting time. Would I watch it? Probably not by myself. I'm going to be 100% with you. Yeah, if I were to watch something like this, especially from the stuff I've been hearing that's in it or the stuff that it references, I would have to really psychologically prepare myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain horror movies. If I was to name a couple, it would be this is up there. This is up there. It was creepy, but it also had more of an action. Even the first one, it had more of an action where the kids were fighting back the evil and stuff like that. And
love that.
Though Pennywise was kind of creepy as shit, but it was still like the kids were funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like it had those kind of aspects in it. A movie that I would put this in the range to is would be Hereditary. If you ever seen Hereditary with Toni Collette. Very, very, very another fucking creepy ass movie, bro. Really well done. Just straight creep factor. Like, if you ever seen it, Hereditary has a part where like a young girl dies and it's because the brother was doing something and he fucked up and killed her by accident.
Oof.
And he comes home and he just lays down and he leaves the body in the car. And you see like the transition from he's just laying down and you see it's nighttime and then you see it go to day and you can hear the parents out the window going to the car. And you just hear the fucking blood curdling scream after she found the dead daughter who died fucking horrifically at that. But it was just like scenes like that hit you like really fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like Hereditary I would put Obsession up with. I'm trying to think of some other creepy ass movies, bro, but it had a really, really, really good creepiness to Obsession, and the storyline was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was also another one of those things with movies that I really like. I like when people kind of get into like the comments and they get onto like TikTok and stuff, and they have like different theories and different things. I know the the writer or the creator, he said that he wanted to make this into like a universe.
Oh,
So I'm interested. I'm
everybody
interested.
wants to make a universe now. There's not really many
Yeah.
like one-shot films. If a film is successful, they're like, okay, how else can we capitalize on this?
How else
we
we
need,
capitalize?
we need
Hey,
sequel,
if-
prequel, all of that.
If you do it good, I don't have a problem. But it is hard, like you're saying, like it is hard to, you know, whether it be The Conjuring or whether it be this, to have, you know, Annabelle and then the Nun and then the cripple walker guy. Or it's like, damn, okay, bro. Like I'm not scared anymore. Okay, just I'm more scared of you making it and shit.
Did The Exorcist need as many sequels as it got later on?
I mean, The Exorcist, they're coming out with that too. That's supposed to be another one. Scarlett Johansson is in it. I really hope they do that well, because I'm looking forward to being entertained by it. But yeah, The Exorcist had a bunch of boring shit that came out afterwards.
Did Child's Play? Did Chucky need to keep coming back? Back like
let's
seriously?
go. Listen, somewhat, yeah, because Child's Play 2 is goated, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. Child's Play 2, where he you know, went to Andy after he got the foster parents, and then he went to the toy store and got the damn thing stuck in his hand, the knife stuck in his hand. Bro, Child's Play 2 is goated.
I saw that in 3 before I saw 1.
Man,
like,
really?
I saw it all backwards.
Yeah,
but
yeah, 1 is classic.
Out.
Yes, yeah. Chucky was great. Bride of Chucky was great with Jennifer Tilly. That was great. People sleep on that, and
that was when it started becoming more comedic.
But it was still good. It was like, you know, Bride of Chucky was fucking good. You know, but then when it started getting like Seed of Chucky, it started getting real corny. But Curse of Chucky was good when Brad Dourif's daughter, and I forgot her name in the movie, but Curse of Chucky, that was the newer version where Chucky came back and he had his whole face was good. And if you didn't, hopefully no spoiler alert, but well, as you go through the movie, then she notices like, wait, this isn't just a doll. This is, she pulls it back and she sees the stitches and it's fucking Chucky. So, and she's like in a wheelchair. So it's like, she's like fighting her, you know, fighting Chucky, and she's got like a disability. They played it well. It was actually really done well. And, you know, so it's like, that's what, like we're saying, the universes, if you do it right, you know, you might have some hit or misses, but you can do it. Yeah. And Obsession, let's see, what does Brian B give Obsession? If you remember the watch list rating system, we got a 5-star rating system. If I love it, it's going to get a 5, but it's really hard to get a 5. If I don't like it at all, it's going to get a 1. And in between are the other numbers. Let's go. What does Brian B rate Obsession? I'm gonna give it a 4 stars.
Ooh, almost perfect.
I'll give it a 4 stars. I'm not gonna lie. This surprised me because I definitely thought that it was gonna be more of something that it wasn't. And I would have liked it if it was more like The Crush, if it was more like stuff like that, or just like, hey, I'm psycho for this guy. But the way that they did it, the way that she moved, the one scene, to me, the creepiest scene was one of the creepiest fucking things on the planet that you can do to somebody is you're sleeping and the room is dark, especially when the room is fucking dark.
Yeah.
And you're up and you're in a corner and you're watching them. Fucking terrifying. Okay, that shit is terrible. Your most vulnerable state. And in that scene, and you know, the makeup and stuff like that was done. It was like they didn't just make her like it's just her. Like they added to the face. This shit was done well, bro. It was done really well. So hats off to Obsession. Obsession was really good. Go check it out if you're into horror. It's supposed to be on Peacock, as a matter of fact, July 17th. So actually, tomorrow.
you see how quick, you know, but you see how quick
crazy
it came out. You see how quick it came out?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably, me and my wife, she caught like the middle of it. I didn't know she wanted to watch it, so I had started watching it without her, but she wanted to watch it, so I'm probably gonna watch it again. But it was really good. Really, really good. But that's all I got for you guys this week. You know, of course, next week we're gonna have another one. You know, more of a regular show. We'll have a top 5. We'll have everything, you know, back to normal and everything.
I got a recommendation for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Spider Noir.
What is it called?
Spider Noir.
Spider in the Water?
No, Spider Noir. Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, Spider. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Come on, Kyle, put me on game because I tried to start watching that shit.
Listen,
I tried, yo.
listen. If you're like for me, I'm a fan of I'm a fan of older cinema. I've
Yeah.
grew up watching black and white films and stuff like that. So they kind of played for the most part. They played it straight, and the rest of the powers kind of was like it's there, but they want you to make sure that you know that yes, this is a Spider-Man thing, but this is about a man who is questioning himself as he's lost the love of his life, as the world is getting more and more dark, as like he's learning about like what's going on that like the stuff that he doesn't know about. They're not shying away from the fact that he's also a drunk. He's got major PTSD. The people closest to him also know that they're in danger. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very well shot movie. If you've ever seen those detective films with the detective, a femme fatale, and a bunch of mob stuff, this is basically
Sin City,
that.
shit like that.
Yeah, this is basically that with Spider-Man involved, with a version of Spider-Man involved, and the fact that we got this before we got the last part of the Spider-Verse films kind of wows me. And Nicolas Cage, do not doubt his fandom on anything because this dude just went ham playing this part. He plays Ben Riley. A drunkard detective trying to help these people out. But he also shows you that doesn't mean he's the best person. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He's not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, this Spider-Man will kill if he has to. That's but he also tries to get away from being Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
I started it.
There's actually
I watched the
layers to
first
this.
episode, and I mean, I don't know how many are out now.
About 8.
So it's 8 episodes. Yeah, maybe I gotta give it another try, man, because I've been trying. Similar to this, like you're saying, like more of like the older, modern kind of, not modern, but just like the older type of black and white detective. I've also been trying to get into the Batman Cape Crusader, like the ones that are on Amazon Prime now.
Oh, I was watching that at the first season. It was cool. I liked it. It was cool. Is it necessary? No, not 100%, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I kind of got into it. I kind of like some of the dynamics that they went. They made Penguin a woman instead of the guy. The
People made a whole
one,
big deal about that.
I know. You know something? I thought he was supposed to be I don't know if it was like trans or something like that or whatever.
Nah.
But it was just he was a woman. Yeah.
Just a woman who changed the character. Just a woman that's very, very you could tell which kid she likes and which one she don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm on episode I think 4. But one thing I will say about it, it does definitely remind you a lot of aspects, just like the Batman animated series. I'll give it that
because it's made by some of the same team. It's Bruce Timm and some of his people. They wanted to have that feeling, but they also wanted to have they wanted to have elements of that mixed in with the old Batman comics and the old detective stories. So it worked out, and I'm looking forward to season 2. Season 2 is dropping soon. What's going on, E?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I guess it's a couple of things, bro. It's a couple of things that are out that I've been kind of getting into. I don't know if we stopped. I think we stopped the shows, but one of the shows that I went back and watched on Hulu.
Yeah,
was Snowfall, and I never watched Snowfall. And for people who know, fucking great show, really, really good show, really well depicted, talking about the crack epidemic, what I'm saying, in Cali and shit like that or whatever. But it was done really well, And that was like the most drama that I've watched in a while because I don't be like really getting into that too much. But
Yeah, I hear you.
it's just been hit or miss lately, bro. There's been a couple of shows that I've been kind of getting into, but I've really actually tried to get into some shows recently that I started and then I kind of back out. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's also because like I don't know, my interests just haven't been there.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe. Like, there's
yeah,
been a lot going on in life, man.
there's
You can't expect to get into everything. I was gonna, since I know you're also a Big Bang Theory fan, I was gonna ask you, did you see the trailer to the latest spinoff that's
check
about
it
to hit
out.
the way?
We're gonna talk about that. Let's go ahead. We're gonna save that for next week because
Okay.
I'm actually really interested in that. I
Yeah.
think that's I like the way they did it, but we're gonna talk about that next week. So, guys, there you go. There's a preview right there. Me and Kyle are gonna talk about. We'll be back next week with a watch list. We'll be back next week with the top 5
Hmm.
and with the regular shows. Next week all the shows are back. We got the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday. We got Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesday. We are going to be watching Saturday Night Main Event for WWE this weekend, and we'll be talking about it on Wednesday. And then, of course, with another brand new episode, me and Kyle be back here as long as everything's good
Yep.
next Thursday night. And I cannot wait. I'm really excited to be back. Kyle, one
Yeah.
more thing before we close out, man. I wanted to also state this because this is a conversation piece. That's why I wanted to kind of wait until like opened up. But check it out, man. Something happened recently, and I wanted to shout out, rest in peace
Rest in peace.
to my guy
Yes,
Sam Neill,
Daniel.
man. And
Yeah.
for you guys who might not know, Sam Neill is, of course, man. Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, man.
Hmm.
Um, of course, he played in a lot of other movies, a lot of movies that I've seen, but not for nothing. I was never a giant fan of Sam Neill's work. He was great, you know what I'm saying, but I
Hmm.
wasn't like personally. But it's weird in life. We've had a couple of conversations today, Kyle,
Yeah.
about nostalgia, about being 40, about like watching stuff that we're familiar with and we love.
Hmm.
I know I said on this podcast before that, Jurassic Park was one of the very, very first movies that I remember as a kid going to the movie theaters to see.
Hmm.
And I went with my grandfather and my parents and my sister, and the movie was so packed that we had to sit in the very front row. It was the only fucking seats that were available.
Oh, so your necks must have been killing you at the end.
Man, it's crazy because I don't know if I was ever in another movie besides that, but that's the first one that every time I think of the first movie that I ever saw in the
Mhm.
theaters, I always think Jurassic Park because of that. And then of course it was Jurassic Park. So it's like Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill, he had a special place with Brian B, bro, because Jurassic Park,
Mhm.
man, that was one of the first movies that ever introduced me into movie theaters and movies.
Mhm.
So I definitely wanted to shout out on the Beeline ENT show, Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill, rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
rest in peace, man. But it's really interesting, like that the different connections that you have. A person doesn't have to be your favorite. A person doesn't have to
No.
be, oh man, I always. There was I said it on here before. I think it was a news anchor that I
Mhm.
used to watch wrestling, and it was a
Yeah.
news anchor, Ernie Anastas in New York and on
Mhm.
channel like 11 News or whatever.
You
And
did
he come
mention
on,
this once.
yeah, and he'd do the weather. And I remember like after SmackDown was going off, they'd be
Mhm.
like, "Hey, UPN 9 with the weekend report and the weather with Ernie Anastas." And then Ernie Anastas passed away, and I saw it, and I was like, "Damn, I remember." You know what I'm saying?
You
It's like
remember
that
you.
nostalgia. It was a
Nostalgia.
connection. It was a connect.
Mhm.
I never watched it in my fucking life. I don't even know if I ever watched the news at that point, but
But
I
you
just
just
remember that
remember,
part.
yeah, because you remember hearing like, oh, here's the weather here's the news with him, and
Ernie
it's like
Anastas, yeah.
you just remember hearing it, and you heard it so much that it was just part of the routine, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting, bro. Stuff is interesting, and it's like you just you get what you get from stuff,
Yeah.
and you also don't realize the impact that things have on you. Until unfortunately, a lot of times it's until they're gone. Until like you
Yeah.
get a chance to see something or hear something, you're like, wait a minute, that went away. Oh man. So hope you guys enjoy. I saw a lot of people were going around like watching Jurassic Park. They had some like free showings in big like parks and stuff like that or whatever,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But yeah, once again, rest in peace. But Cal,
Yeah.
anything in closing, bro?
Yeah, well, I just want to say welcome back, bro. Yeah, but like I wanted to say that tonight was a great it was a great show, and I can't wait for more. Now as I'm doing these shows with you from another location, I hope the more that you see me, the more you see the background start to evolve.
Start to change.
Like right now,
Yeah.
I got so much stuff I still got to unpack. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, and get stuff the way I wanted. So that's going to be an interesting transition. This is transition time for me. You know what I mean?
Enjoy it, bro. Enjoy the fresh start. Damn, I forgot, bro. It was a spot. I don't know if you're interested in like posters or pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I saw it was something on TikTok where there was like a hack, man, and people were getting like full size posters and stuff. Where they're getting for like $1. I know some people were going to the dollar store and stuff like that, but there's some places that you'll get them for a decent price. So yeah, man, big lots, and you go to shit like that or whatever, they have these giant posters, usually like $10 or something like that. So enjoy, bro. Enjoy the room. Enjoy the space.
Yeah.
When I went to see my friend, when I went to he's like a bachelor, bro. He don't got no wife or kids or anything. Man, I walked in his house. He got fucking UFC signs, shit all over the place, basketball, football, shit. I'm like, man, yo, you I mean, you see me, bro. This I love doing this shit, bro. I love all the, it's just all stuff you love, man. I got all my movies back up and out. But enjoy the space, man. Enjoy creating, and you're creative too. So it's like, it is what it is.
My sister, who has like spearheaded the move, like she's the very organized one. She looked around at my old place and she's like, okay, listen, okay. We are putting your nerd stuff on your walls, because I was afraid of putting holes in the walls and losing my security deposit. So I didn't put any of my stuff in my other place. And I was there for 9 years. So she's like, listen, okay, we are putting your nerdy stuff all on the walls. You got all this great art. You got all this great stuff. Just put it up there. That's what we're going to do. And I'm like, okay.
It makes you feel like home. It's so weird, man. I had a studio apartment one time. It was one of the first apartments that I ever got by myself. And I went and I got it. And I was working at Target at the time. And every time Target had like a display or some shit like that or whatever, or a poster or whatever, I would take it. I was in electronics, and I would take it. I'd roll it up, and I'd ask. Me and the security guy was cool, so he let me take it. And I had that shit up in my house, man. I had a big fucking Guardians of the Galaxy thing with them with the guns and bro. I walked home and I saw that shit, and it just looked so cool. And you're just like, what's the big deal, right? But it's like it just feels good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It feels good. I got art that Babe has sent me. I got stuff that I've had commissioned that my homeboys have, my homeboys and my homegirls have done for me, because I got artist friends. They hooked up. I got stuff that people have bought for me, and I just never put it up, for fear of losing. Because I was like, technically, this is my place, but I'm renting it, so I don't want to, damage anything.
Yeah, enjoy your house, man. They gonna take that shit for whatever reason they want it anyway. But enjoy your house, bro. But yo, you do your best, and I'm looking forward to seeing the transition as you go. But Kyle, you're absolutely right, bro. I'm really glad to have you back with me. So next week we'll be back with a brand new show, brand new week, and I cannot wait. But B-Line, until that time, I'm going to remind you, please go ahead, head on over to YouTube. Make sure that you like, make sure that you follow, make sure that you leave your comments, man, and look for us, man, because like I said, I went away for a little while to try to make sure I still wanted to do this, and you see me sitting back here, so I'm ready to give it my all and keep going as far as it'll let me, yo. That's pretty much all you can do. But we're gonna be back. We're gonna tell you to stay true, stay positive, pay attention, baby. And I'll see you guys next week, yo. Cal, have a great night, brother.
You as well.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the B-Line Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the B-Line Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course, the B-Line Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course, subscribe with that bell button for the notifications so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the B-Line Entertainment LLC. Let's go!